If you run AV, smart home or home service business and you're wondering whether you can calculate if an advertising will pay for itself, I will show you exactly how to do that right now. I'm Chris. For 5 years, I grew the Loxone brand in the USA and Europe, where we sold more than $10 million in smart home systems in 4 years. And along the way, we trained over 1,200 integrators. Today, I help home service business owners win more clients. Now, no fluff, let's get to the point. First, you need to apply reverse engineering. What it is and how do you do it? Let me show you. Let's set the goal first, okay? Let's say you are a smart home integrator and you would like to add additional 200K in revenue. That's your goal. Your APV, average project value, what it is. How do you calculate the average project value? If last year you did 20 projects and 10 of them were 20K, 5 were 50K, 3 were 80K and 2 were 100K, that gives you a total of 890K. Divided by 20 projects, that's 44K 500. Simple. That's your average project value. Then we need to know what's the number of projects needed. Okay, so for this calculation, let's stick to average project value 25K. It's going to be easier to calculate. So if our project value here in this case is 25,000, to make 200,000 with an average of project worth 25K, we need 8 projects. Now, let's focus on how to acquire those 8 projects and how to calculate it. We need to know a value called CAC. CAC stands for Customer Acquisition Cost, which is the cost of acquiring a customer. In this case, our project. To find out our CAC, we need to know our CPL. That's cost per lead, which is simply the cost of one lead, so of one acquired inquiry. If you are planning to do it yourself, or if you are planning to hire an agency, this is the number you should know. So if you are starting from scratch and you have never done any marketing and you don't know what your CPL is, then if you are hiring someone, and let's say you are hiring a marketing agency, okay? So if they are the right partner for that project, they should know what we could expect in case of the CPL. Because if you are searching for someone, you should search for someone who already worked with AV, smart home, home service businesses. And if they were working with someone, they should know what's the cost per lead on average is for the other location, other businesses and stuff. So we can assume something, okay? In our agency, we work with home service businesses only. So all of our clients and all of our experience is based on home service businesses. So we exactly know what we could expect in case of cost per lead. If you are doing kitchen remodeling, if you are doing AV, smart homes, whatever, you come to us and we tell you, okay, this is the average cost per lead that we could expect on these campaigns. And that's the first question you should ask someone you're thinking about working with. You should ask them, what is the average cost per lead in my industry? The second question you can ask is, can you guarantee that? So if they tell you, okay, average cost per lead in this industry to get to homeowner looking for AV or smart home system is $100. Okay, can you guarantee that if I spend 1K, you're going to deliver 10 leads? If not, there is probably something wrong. Like they are not confident in what they're preaching. Because if you come to us, we are going to tell you what's the average cost per lead, and we are so confident to deliver that we are going to put guarantee written in contract on this specific metric, which is CPL. As soon as you have CPL, then we need to understand what's cost per book appointment. So on average, you can also ask, because if you haven't done any marketing before and you don't know what's the CPL, probably you don't know what's the cost per book appointment. But let's put it this way. If we generate 100 leads, not all of those 100 leads are going to book appointment with you. And not also all of them are going to show up on this appointment. So first thing is, how many of these leads are going to book appointment with you? So you can ask, okay, on average, how many meetings do your clients schedule from these inquiries? Okay, and then do you help with scheduling those meetings? Once again, we as an agency, we can help you with scheduling those meetings, but also it depends on you. It depends on how you show up, what's your speed to lead, how do you handle those conversations, and many factors. So we could tell you that on average it's this number, but then it is very individual to specific business owners and sales reps, and there are many factors. But we can give you the average number, and then we also help with scheduling. So we are nurturing the leads through SMS, email. We have a landing page where we send them so they can schedule those calls. So on the back end, we help with scheduling meetings as well. And then the cost per show. So how many of those people actually show up? Okay, how many meetings actually take place? So of course, everyone who booked the appointment is not going to show up on the appointment. Okay, so we need to know on average how many of those people are actually show up, and then do you help with that process? So again, 2 questions, and we do help in that process within our agency, because on the back end again we are sending reminders, email, SMS reminders. We can also send some articles, recent case studies, so we warm up the lead for the appointment, which is very crucial. And the most important question once the meeting happens is, what is your sales conversion rate? So CR, close rate. Those are the metrics that are going to tell you what your CAC is, because then you know how many meetings you need to have, like how many leads you need to generate, how many meetings you are going to book, and how many meetings you are going to attend. And with the close rate, you will know how many clients you will acquire. So that is going to give you the cost per acquisition. So in case of these metrics, okay, we have a CPL, and in case of CPL, marketing is 100% responsible for this number and for this metric. And then CPBA, so cost per book appointment, and CPS, cost per show appointment, for these metrics, marketing and sales, they are responsible together, okay? Because let's say the marketing is bringing brilliant leads, okay? They are homeowners from your area interested in your service, but then we have a sales rep which is dropping the ball on them, and all of these metrics are going down because of the incompetent sales rep, okay? So this is very important, that marketing and sales, they go together always. And then sales is the close rate. So if the meetings that we booked actually showed up, and they are looking for our service, what's the close rate? So this metric is related to sales and sales only. We have marketing plus sales, and sales. So again, let's start from the very beginning, okay? We need to know the cost per lead, and this is something the agency you're planning to work with should already have. So as I said, we have data for almost every niche among AV, smart home, and home service businesses. And what's most important is that having this data, we feel comfortable giving you a guarantee on delivering a specific number of leads. So in this case, let's say cost per lead for a homeowner looking to make an AV or smart home system in his house is $120, okay? If our cost per lead is $120, then we need to know what's our cost per booked appointment, okay? And let's say 50% of all the leads are going to book appointment. So our cost per book appointment is $240. And then let's say cost per show appointment is also 50%. So our cost per show is $480. This is the most important metric right now, okay? The cost per show appointment. And then the question is, what's our close rate? And let's say our close rate from every meetings that is going to happen is 30%. We are able to convince 30% of all clients to work with us, okay? So if we have 10 meetings, then we have 3 new clients. And to get 10 meetings, if we know that our cost per show is $480, that means to have 10 meetings, we need to spend $4,800. So 10 meetings, $4,800, close rate 30%, 3 clients cost us $4,800. So if we divide $4,800 by 3, then our CAC is $1,600. So our customer acquisition cost is $1,600. So let's look at the big picture again, okay? The goal is to generate 200k in additional revenue. Average project value is 25k, so we need 8 projects. If our customer of acquisition cost is 1600, then we multiply this by 8, number of projects we need, and the number is 12,800. If we spend on marketing 12,800 bucks, we are going to generate 200k. This 200k is of course not profit yet, because we need to add other costs. So the starting K is ad spend. Then we need to add agency service fee, or any other employee doing this for us. And then we need to add time and resources we spent on meetings, quotes and stuff like that, or a salesperson if we have someone in the team taking care about sales. And then let's say of this 200k we have 30% margin. With 30% margin, that's going to be 60k minus ad spend, agency service fee and salesperson. So let's say in that case that the whole investment is 12,800 ad spend, agency is 5k, and salesperson is 12k 700. Okay? With 30% margins, we need to take our 60k minus 12,800 minus 5k and minus 12k 700. And then we have a pure profit, which is 29k 500 bucks. That's our pure profit after all of the costs with agency, salesperson and ad spend. That are the numbers you need to know, and that are the numbers you should look for. Okay? So to summarize everything, if you are planning to do a marketing, you need to measure everything correctly. So if you are planning to work with anyone, you can ask them these questions, okay? The first and most important question is, what is the average cost per lead in my industry? Then, can you guarantee that? On average, how many meetings do your clients schedule from these leads? Do you help with scheduling those meetings? How many of the people who schedule actually show up? And how many meetings actually take place? And then, do you help with that process? That are the questions that you should ask any person that you're planning to do marketing with. So please remember, properly measured marketing is an investment, not an expense. If this helped, drop a like and subscribe, because I post practical stuff like this here regularly. See you in the next one.